on Sumner County Media Days, brought to you by K1 Speed, Volunteer Fence, the Farmers Bank, and Steve Shrum, Simply Home Realty. Sumner County Sports Editor, Main Street Media, North Central, Regional Sports Editor, Blaine Kellar. Joined now by White House head football coach Atlee and all of White House's senior class for the football team. Can we get a little cheer from the senior class here? How great is this? Glad to have them aboard today.
Yes,
glad
sir.
to have
Yes,
you
sir.
on the show.
Appreciate it. Yep. We're excited to be here, man.
It's an interesting off-season for you, for this team. White House went 4-6 last year, missed the playoffs for the first time since 2019. Shortly after that, longtime coach Ryan Hamilton leaves for Liberty Creek.
Yes, sir.
You're named the interim and then the head coach of your alma mater.
That's right.
How special was it to take over this program?
It was awesome, man. It's almost like a dream come true when you start off coaching. You know what I'm saying? You get the opportunity to come back to where you graduated from, a program that's very rich in tradition, and just to be a part of that. And you know, I've had conversations with Coach Porter, Coach Honeycutt, Coach Grantham, and just have all their support. So it's been a pretty awesome experience so far.
And Coach Hamilton too. I mean, I guess you've talked with all of the past head coaches here.
Like those were my coaches.
What did you learn from talking with them about what you need to do?
Well, a lot of it's about BDP, man, and I feel like that was kind of one of the things that got kind of lost along the way, and that's our main goal, is just to get back to those traditions and just bring back that BDP.
From your perspective, kind of run us through how that whole process unfolded, of you being named the interim coach,
right?
And then an extensive search. What was said happened. Not sure. I guess at the time you weren't sure if you were going to get that head coaching job.
Right. Yeah, they had a lot of good candidates, man, that applied and interviewed, and it was one of those things where, you know, at first, you know, when he told me that he was stepping down, it was one of those decisions that you pray about. Kind of went back and forth about a couple different situations, but, you know, guy kind of spoke to me and woke up one day and said, this is where I'm supposed to be and this is what I'm supposed to do. So I went at 100 miles an hour, man. Admin definitely made me work for it, you know what I mean? Like that. But as throughout that process, man, it really made me realize how bad I wanted the job and how bad I wanted to be a part of White House High School.
So did you approach the administration saying, I want to be the head coach?
When I went in there, they automatically just made me the interim. And it was one of those things where we had a conversations were had, and I expressed my interest in the position, and we just went forward from there.
And run us through the emotions or the moment that you got, I guess it was the call, or you got in the office.
Miss Miller at the time, Miss Miller, I interviewed that morning. It was like a Tuesday morning, interviewed. We were in the middle of spring practice, so like that was one of the things that I was big on. Is like, we're not going to stop this. Like, the kids are working hard. We got good kids. Let's keep things rolling. I had my interview like a Tuesday morning. That afternoon after practice, she called me. A lot of times when you get those calls, it's not always good news. So I was kind of panicking a little bit there, but we sat down, had a good conversation. She offered me the job, and it's a pretty awesome experience, man.
You were previously the head coach at East Robinson.
Right. Yeah, I had been through this whole process before. Like, I coached with Chad Broderick. He left to go back to Gallatin. I was named interim there. So I had experience in being in the interim position, and kind of had a plan. You know what I'm saying? Like, the biggest thing is, like, don't stop. You know what I mean? Keep things rolling. They asked if I needed more time for spring ball. I was like, no, we're just going to go at this 100 miles an hour, and we've kind of reaped the benefits of that.
How does that help make a good impression? I mean, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, it was an interview throughout that whole process. You know what I'm saying? Like, going through spring ball and basically just showing them I could do it. You know what I mean? And the kids were bought in. That was one of the big things. Is like, I had the support from the kids, and I think admin saw that and moved forward.
What do you apply from that first go around that you had as a head coach?
One of the biggest things, man, like is you're only as good as the people you surround yourself with. And I felt like one of the first things I needed to do is find good coaches, which we were able to retain pretty much everybody on staff from before. A lot of guys graduated from White House and were there for the program. Went out and got a defensive coordinator, but that was the biggest thing. Is I thought the first go around, I feel like I tried to do too much myself instead of letting people do things. So that's big, and just you're only as good as the people you surround yourself with.
You talked about that BDP, that culture that White House kind of has in itself.
Yeah.
It's important then to have coaches who have been
right.
In
Absolutely.
That, right?
Yep. They lived it. Yep. So like a lot of our guys, a lot of our staff, they played at White House High School, and won at White House High School, and just having those guys around are like that's important.
Your new defensive coordinator, Cliff Barna, somebody
Yes,
we'll
sir.
talk to
Yes,
a
sir.
little bit later. On Liberty Creek staff for a couple of years, what connection did you guys have to have?
Man,
him
we
on
kind of hit it off instantly, dude. First off, he's a great dude, man, and that's kind of like one of the conversations I have with Coach Porter is look for trustworthy, good people, loyal and trustworthy. And after talking with Cliff the first time, I picked up on that instantly. Just a great dude, man. Somebody you want to surround your kids with. And we just hit it off, man. Things have been great.
And on the other side of the ball, Ryan Hamilton was the offensive coordinator while he was there, and you're stepping into that role.
Absolutely, man. Yep.
You were
that
the
was
defensive coordinator.
Well, yeah, I've done both. So when I was at East, when I was at East Robertson, I was the defensive coordinator there. Stepped into an offensive coordinator role there. Same kind of thing here. Like that was one of the reasons I was able to move so quickly through spring ball is I already had the system in place, man. A system I know that works. The kids bought into it. And we're ready to roll.
Does it look similar to what East's offense was?
Well, to East, yes.
But
the last
House,
year,
no.
it's complete. Yeah, it's going to be a little different.
How so?
We'll just have to wait and see about that. Yeah, I'm not gonna get into that too much, but it's definitely going to be different.
We're talking with Atlee Pond, new White House head football coach here on Sumner County Media Days. Brought to you by Main Street Media Television. Come check us out. We're at Birdie Bros here till 8:30. Also here Tuesday and Wednesday. Talking a little bit about your time in East Robertson. Taylor Grove's a big name that you got to coach.
Yep.
What did you learn about getting to kind of develop a top talent like that?
Well, one thing is like one thing I pride myself in is players, not plays. I mean, that was one of the things. Like he had a lot of attention on him, but you find ways to get him the football. It's the same kind of thing. You know what I mean? You got a high-profile guy that everybody's looking at. You kind of mix things up and just kind of do the things that he does well. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of one of the biggest things.
It'd be unfair to compare somebody on this
Yeah.
roster
No, we're not going to do that. No, everybody's different. We've got athletes, we've got kids. Like we got a lot of great kids, man. That's the biggest thing. And throughout the interim process, we really got. I felt like our staff and our kids, we came together, and it was just one of those things. Well, we got a lot of good kids, man. We got athletes, we've got. But the thing we're focused on right now is more about culture and family atmosphere, and that's one of the reasons we brought all these seniors, man. Like we were asked to pick two, and I'm not going to pick two because we're team, not me.
How do you develop that outside of maybe this moment? What exactly have you done?
So one thing we're trying to harp in on is the fellowship piece. I feel like we kind of lost that along the way, and just doing things outside of football, man. Like we just got back from FCA camp. We've got a team picnic scheduled, and we're going to try to do more things. You know, like football's a grind, man. Like you're there day in, day out. You're working hard. One of the biggest things is just having fun outside of football and developing that relationship.
And how does that translate? I mean, obvious question here. How does that translate to wins?
You play hard for your brother, man. Like if you're close and you have a relationship with the guy you're next to, I mean, it translates. You don't want to let your people down. You don't want to let your brother down.
Talking a little bit about the changes, kind of a season of change here at White House. A lot of big, names in the coaching side moving. Big players moving on as well. Michael Albin being one of them, 2,000-yard back. Also played linebacker, also punted.
Right, yeah, he did a lot of things, man. I think he's found a place to play at the next level, so we're excited for him.
Union Commonwealth, I think was out in Kentucky is where he signed to just recently. Story on the Connection website about that. Be sure to check that out. What does it look like in the running back game? Kind of replacing?
We've got several backs that we're still working. Like everything right now is open competition, man. Like there is no set guy. We got about 3 or 4 different guys that are rotating. They all do different things, man. Like they're different backs, so we're going to take advantage of having multiple dudes with multiple skill set.
And so does it feel more like in your system? Is it more of a stable of running backs you have, or do you want to rely on one guy?
We want to use everybody to the best of their ability, man. Like we want to put guys in position to be successful, and we have guys that may be more downhill. We have guys that can release outside the back, come out of the backfield and make catches. So we're going to do what they do best.
Put faces to those names for us. Who are some of those downhill guys?
So we got a senior Corbin Taylor back there. We have Ben Stanley, who was a defensive standout last year. We got an upcoming junior Ty Seapaul. We've also got a freshman that looks pretty good, Tony Hambert. So we've got several guys in that position.
At that FCA camp that you talked about,
Yeah.
I think really strong showing there. Tell us how you guys performed.
Yeah, so we did really well, man. We finished runner-up. So we played Hillsboro to go to the final. Lost to Fairleigh. Fairleigh had a lot of good athletes. But yeah, I thought it was positive, man. Like the kids, the biggest thing about the FCA camp though was like we had 2 kids saved and 20 kids recommitted their life to Christ. Our offense or our linemen won the big man challenge, and our skills came in runner-up. So it was an awesome week.
I saw that about the linemen, and that's one position that I really wanted to ask about a little bit. The anchor of that line previously, Dawson Carson, off to Chattanooga.
Yeah.
What is the next?
Yeah, we're super excited for Dawson and Kenny Holt, man. Those are 2 guys that are going to play at the next level. That we're high-profile guys, like you said, that we're going to have to replace. But yeah, man, the offensive line, we're still like I said, everything's open competition. We've got several guys that are fighting positions, and biggest thing is trying to develop that chemistry with those 5 guys.
How does that translate to your scheme, your system? Is there anything different blocking scheme-wise?
Oh, there's a lot different, but
you gotta help us
yeah, no, it's gonna be. I mean, there'll be some things that are similar. There'll be some things that are different. But we won't get too much into that tonight, though.
One player coming back for you, Easton Biggs, quarterback.
Yep.
How is he taking another step in his development?
Yeah, so we've Easton's actually he's been playing more receiver for us this year. So we had a kid, we had a kid that had a really strong spring, man, Jaden Schultz, starting quarterback as of right now. Like that's open competition too. Like there is nothing set in stone at this point, but Jaden had a very, very, very strong spring, man. Ran the offense well, very smart kid. His teammates play hard for him. He distributes the rock. But Easton, man, you can't say enough about a kid that started quarterback last year that slid into a wide receiver role. He had a great 7-on-7 count. Caught a lot of different, caught several touchdown passes, man. So like very unselfish, team first guy.
What do you coach in a player who's making a transition to a position like that?
Yeah, but I mean, honestly, it's been pretty easy with us. Like we've had open conversations, and nothing's a secret, and it just comes back to that selflessness, man, where the kid is team first.
Jaden was in that quarterback competition last year with Easton.
Right.
And if I'm remembering right, I think I was told that Jaden was a bit more mobile. Is that?
I wouldn't. I wouldn't go that far. No.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean he can run the ball, but I'd say mobility. They're pretty similar there.
Then what kind of gives? I mean, not to say one's better than the other, but what gives Jaden?
He had very strong spring, man. Like you know what I mean. It was one of those things where we know that Easton had a great baseball. Was in baseball. He had a great year in baseball. White House made it to state. It's just one of those things, man, where he was making all the throws, dude, and you have a good, confident kid that isn't scared of anything, that's willing to do whatever it takes for his team.
So Jaden really got an opportunity during those spring practices.
Yeah, and he played scout. Yeah, and he played scout team for us a lot last year with me being the defensive coordinator. We had a lot of conversations about this is what I want to see. I threw things at him, blitzes, whether it be like different type of blitzes and everything. So he had experience. In practice, seeing a defense that was very multiple, so I think that helped him as well.
And does he have kind of a calmness in those situations?
Yeah, I'd say, I'd say he's pretty calm. But I think the biggest thing is he knows he's a very smart kid. Like some people might not think that, but he's a very smart kid, man, and he processes information and he'll stand in the pocket and isn't afraid to take a hit.
Another new piece to this team, Lewis Taylor.
Yeah, absolutely.
Coming over from the basketball team.
Yep.
Who convinced him to join this team?
Well, those were conversations that we were having before Hammy stepped down or whatever. But I think it was just the relationship that we developed. I had lunch duty. You know what I mean? So I got to see all the kids. That there's a lot of that. We had several kids that actually came out. Yeah, absolutely, man. You got to recruit, dude. You know what I mean? But we saw how strong he was on the basketball court, and who don't want a 6'4" receiver?
Yeah, so he's going to play receiver.
Absolutely, yeah. So he's playing receiver and he's playing like an edge, outside linebacker. Yep.
So where does Easton fit in that receiver group? Is he a slot guy?
He's
or
playing
is he
slot
on the
receiver.
other side?
Yeah, he's playing slot receiver right now. Yep.
I mean, that's a pretty good solution to graduating a couple of big receivers on the outside.
We have some other good receivers. So we got Rucker Sample, Trent McCormick, Graham Lester. We got several guys, Jake Soporowski, that are all. Receiving corps pretty strong this year.
continuing our Sumner County Media Days with new White House football coach Atlee. Thank you to K1 Speed, Volunteer Fence, the Farmers Bank, and Steve Schrum, Simply Home Real Estate for sponsoring us. Again, we're at Birdie Bros. Come check us out. October 17th, I'm sure you already have circled, highlighted, exclamation points in the calendar. That game being White House versus Liberty Creek. Ryan Hamilton now, an assistant over there. Caleb Cook, former basketball coach.
Two of my good friends.
Went over there as well. I know you're a guy that's going to say we're looking to week one.
Yeah, absolutely. We got Portland week one, man. Like that's. So when I played, man, that was the big rival. That was, to me, I mean, at that time, that was one of the biggest rivals in the state. So we're not looking past anybody and anything else, man. Like, our biggest thing is we're just going to do us, man. We're not worried about anybody else. You know what I'm saying? We're just going to control what we can control and worry about ourselves.
But the players have had some motivation in that show, right?
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, maybe I won't speak to that, but yeah, man. Yeah.
Wondering a little bit more about maybe the schedule that you have going on. It seems like that there is a chance for you guys to reel off a couple of wins later in the season. You've got Greenbrier on the schedule, Glencliff on the schedule, and again, looking at Portland, that's the important one. But how important would that stretch be in reeling together some wins and trying to?
Yeah, we're definitely. I mean, that's. I mean, that's why we play the game, is to win. You know what I'm saying? Like, but it's not. I mean, you take it 1 week at a time. Like I said, we've got some rivals there early. We also put White House Heritage back on the schedule, and I think that's one. You know, the kids are circling games, but they're all. It's 1 week at a time, and we just got to have the right mindset.
Now that Portland, rivalry goes back a very long time. Yeah. Portland got the better of White House last year. How much is that kind of?
We're definitely. Yeah, it's one of them things, man. Like that, they came out and hit us in the mouth, man, and that. I think that inspired us this offseason to hit the weights and to train hard, and we're excited.
What conversations did you have? I mean, I guess you weren't necessarily. Were you involved a whole lot in the scheduling with White House?
I voiced my opinion a little bit. I wouldn't say that he listened to me. I know he listened to me on one because it's back on the schedule this year. But no, I mean we had a great relationship, man. Like Ryan treated me awesome, dude, and it was one of those things where if he had something on his mind, he could always bounce it off of me. And same thing with me, dude. If there was something I needed, I didn't hesitate to ask him and have conversations. So we had a great relationship. We still do have a great relationship.
Why do you think that game went off the schedule for a couple of years?
Man, honestly, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know the answer to that question. It was one of them things, man. Like you got, two schools in the city of White House, and it only makes sense to play.
Yeah, I mean. Feels like you have 3 or 4 games on this schedule this year, Greenbrier included.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Long history between those two teams. You've got a lot of games that mean something to kids outside of that non-region schedule.
Right.
How important is that?
No, it's awesome, man. Like that, you want to play the games the kids want to play, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? And the rivalry games, like as a player, former player, those are the games we wanted to play. We had games that we talked about that, inspires us in the weight room. You talk about Portland. You know what I mean? Like Portland's working hard. What are you doing? Yeah. So we're excited about this season, man. It's going to be exciting.
Compare the region that you're jumping up to, Region 6 4A.
We didn't mention Springfield. Springfield's another big. You know what I'm saying? That was a big rival, man. Even for years.
Right.
But yeah, you lose Marshall County and you pick up Springfield. Springfield's a great program, man. Dustin does a good job over there. Kids play hard for them. They're disciplined. We're excited about that one too, just to get back to a lot of those old school games, man.
It felt like in Region 5 4A, they were called them gaps, tiers, echelons. You had Pearl Cone.
Yeah.
You had Marshall County.
Yep.
And then every game kind of felt like it could have gone either way.
Right. Yeah. Very competitive.
How different is this region compared to that?
I mean, I feel like all the teams are going to be competitive, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, and nobody's really played a game yet. Everybody's 0-0, and we'll see how it unfolds. But man, you still got good, strong, solid teams. Pearl's always going to be Pearl. Springfield, you know what you're getting there, man. And Liberty Creek, Greenbrier. I mean, those are teams that you definitely want to play and compete against.
One more for you, Coach, before we let you go and talk to some players here, Sumner County Media Days. What has been the biggest difference for you from your time both as an assistant and Addie Robertson as a head coach, how have you tackled this offseason differently than in the
Man,
past?
I think it's culture, dude. Like, I've always been a big, schematic guy. Like, I want to be a great, defensive coach, offensive coach, whatever it is. But, one of the big things I hop on is this offseason personally was just making these kids, teaching them to be successful and be better men because of it. You know what I mean? So, like, our culture, and it all starts with the BDP, man. Like, first, like, before you start talking about BDP, the kids got to know what BDP is. And I think that's one of the big things we've talked about this offseason a lot is just instilling that back into the kids.
Blue Devil Pride, the message of White House's offseason. Coach Vaughn, thank you so much for taking some time here. We're going to take a break. When we come back, BDP, yeah. We'll talk to Lewis Taylor and pretty much all of White House's senior class if we can get to him. Stay tuned. You're watching Sumner County Media Days here at Birdie Bros in Hendersonville.
Volunteer Fence is your one-stop shop for all your fencing needs. If you need assistance with residential, commercial, gates, and handrails, trust the company with over 45 years of fencing experience, Volunteer Fence. Located in Hendersonville, Tennessee, Volunteer Fence services customers in Middle Tennessee, including Hendersonville, Gallatin, Lebanon, White House, Smyrna, Nashville, Springfield, Brentwood, Franklin, Murfreesboro, Mount Juliet, and the surrounding areas. Call Volunteer Fence at 615-822-6530 for a free estimate or visit www.volunteerfencellc.com.
At the Farmers Bank, nothing means more to us than helping our customers grow. We take pride in supporting our neighbors, creating customized solutions, and building strong communities, one relationship at a time. It's simple. We're just local people making local decisions. We're as community gets. We'd love to be part of your success. Visit any of our 9 Middle Tennessee locations or visit us online to get started. The Farmers Bank, improving lives in the markets we serve.
The best indoor go-kart racing experience is here in Nashville, Tennessee. K1 Speed Nashville by Will Power is a world-class entertainment venue that is designed to help keep you entertained and engaged whether you're on or off the track. If you want to experience indoor karting yourself, are interested in hosting a fun party for a friend or loved one, or would like to plan a corporate function, we'll be here to help. K1 Speed Nashville by Will Power is open 7 days a week. Visit k1speed.com/Nashville for more details. K1 Speed Nashville is located at 404 Davidson Street, Nashville, Tennessee. Call 615-242-3275 or visit k1speed.com/Nashville. K1 Speed Nashville, the best and fastest indoor go-kart racing in Nashville.
Thank you to our sponsors for Sumner County Media Day, K1 Speed, the Farmers Bank, Volunteer Fence, Steve Shrum, Simply Home Real Estate, and our host sponsor, Birdie Bros, Chris Jones here. Big part in getting us a home for Sumner County Media Days. We thank you so much for having us here. And,
our pleasure.
Tell us about Birdie Bros.
Yeah, so we had this crazy wild idea, my business partner and I, a couple years ago, to bring indoor golf and a sports bar concept kind of together. I've lived in Hendersonville, since 1994, and realized that there's not a lot to do up here. And so we decided to change that and bring a little bit of, unfortunately people characterize it as, it's Top Golf, but inside. And that's kind of what we've ran with for a little bit.
Yeah.
But we're a sports bar at heart, first and foremost. And then we've got 7 indoor golf simulators that you can come and enjoy as much as you want, whether it's trying to hone in your golf skills or just a night out and looking for some entertainment with your kids or anything in between. So
can release some stress, knocking some balls down too. Huh?
Absolutely.
I've heard great things about the menu too. Our photographer John Decker said he got an ice cream cookie a little ago, and
little cookie skillet.
The burger was really good. Tell us about what we've got on the menu.
Yeah, so we've got we actually just redid our menu about 30 days ago. So the burger that he was talking about is actually one of our most popular. It's an American Wagyu burger. It's a big, massive half-pound burger that people really love and enjoy. But yeah, we characterize our menu as an elevated sports bar feel. So there's lots of sports bars, whether it's Buffalo Wild Wings or others in the area. But we kind of go above and beyond with our scratch kitchen in the back and making sure that we're home-making sauces. We're trying to step out of the traditional as much as possible to give people a different experience. So we're here for that, and hopefully people will come by and give us a try. A lot of people also are very timid. They think that, Birdie Bros, and they hear the name and they go, oh, it's just golf. And it's like, guys, you can come and have a great meal. You can come and have lunch. We've got lots of specials throughout the week, so would love to see if we can have anybody out and see what their thoughts are, get some feedback.
Oh, he's making me hungry with this menu. Be sure to check out Birdie Bros all throughout this week for Sumner County Media Days here in Indian Lake. A great location, great place for some golf, some food, some drinks. We'll be here all week, but even beyond that, be sure to check out Birdie Bros. Thank you, Chris.
Awesome, appreciate it.
What do you look for when searching for a realtor? Experience? Steve Schrum with Simply Home has been a realtor in Sumner County for 30 years. Number of houses sold? Steve Schrum with Simply Home has sold over 1,000 homes. Leadership in the field? Steve Schrum with Simply Home, president of the Sumner Realtors in 2004 and 2018. Awards? Steve Schrum with Simply Home 2006-2016 Realtor of the Year for Sumner Realtors. What do the clients say? Steve Schrum with Simply Home is knowledgeable, professional, and kind with a super work ethic. Steve Schrum with Simply Home sells 99% of his homes quickly and for top dollar, and communicates from the beginning to the end of the process. Your homework is now done. Steve Schrum with Simply Home is the realtor for the job. Call Steve Schrum with Simply Home today at 615-473-6633. Visit Steve at steveschrum.com or stop by and say hello at 118 Saundersville Road, Suite 150, Hendersonville, Tennessee, 37075.
We are back with a ton of White House senior players. We're here with the receiver group first. I've got some names down. We're going to start with this. This is Jake Soporowski. I've got Lewis Taylor here. Rucker Sample, Easton Biggs, Trenton McCormick, and the rest of them will introduce themselves when we get there. We're continuing our Sumner County Media Days show, White House's senior class. A really fun challenge for me as a host to talk to, this isn't even everybody, there's more coming after this. So, let's go ahead and start with the questions I have planned. Lewis, why don't you scoot on up here? A few questions for you to start. Coming over from the basketball team to the football team, who in particular recruited you to join this team, and how excited are you to play football?
Coach Pond got me to play again, and some of the other coaches, but I was really excited to come back, be with everyone, just have fun, really. And, yeah, that's really it.
So be back. Have you played football
Yeah,
before?
I played going into sophomore year.
Okay. And then last year just wanted to focus on basketball.
Yeah.
And typically you kind of see the inverse of this. A lineman who plays down low for the basketball team, is able to correlate those two things. How can you correlate basketball to being on the football field?
I don't really know. It's like two very different things. But basketball, well, I'm used as a big in basketball, but I can also be used as a bigger player on the field because of my height. And we use that a lot when it comes to throwing the ball. So,
Coach Pond said you'll play receiver and then edge rusher as well. Those two don't typically go together. I mean, typically it's receiver corner. So what's it like taking on those two roles? Are you familiar with those?
Defensive end, it's just fun. It's just, I don't know, I like to hit people, and yeah, I mean, my arms are long, so it's easy to get hands on the guy in the back. So, and then receiver, I just like catching the ball.
Yeah.
And I have an advantage over a lot of people.
A lot of people like catching the ball for sure. Is that the consensus here? Everybody like catching the ball? Awesome. Let's move on to Easton Biggs for a second. Let's get Easton up here. A little bit of a shock, the shock of the Sumner County Media Days so far, you making the move to receiver. What has that transition been like?
It's been good because these guys have welcomed me, and Rucker's been a big help, just telling me everything we need to know. And Jane's been putting in work, so should be a good season.
who approached you about that idea, and how did you kind of take it at first?
I just came back from baseball and we had a 7-on-7, and Jaden was running the first team, and we were just going through it, and Coach Pond came up to me, he's like, "You want to play receiver?" And I was like, "Yeah." And so they ran a play to give me the ball, and I almost scored. And then we went down and I did score. So.
And I think Coach Pond said you had a pretty good showing at the FCA camp, right? What has translated for you well outside on the outside?
I think just playing quarterback, like I could see the holes that like most people don't, and me and Jaden pretty close, so I think like he knows what we're gonna do.
Yeah, talk a little bit about that baseball run that you guys had as White House, not only this year but the year before. Chance to go to the state tournament, big deal for the Blue Devils in each of the last 2 years. What was that like as a player?
It was something special. Like not everybody gets to experience like the bond that we had, and like the stuff that we got to do like after like the postseason, like just like being with them and like playing games that, like you have to win. Like not everybody gets to experience that.
What are the adjustments that you've had to make from throwing the ball to catching the ball?
I just got to run a little bit more, and I just got to like understand like where the other people are gonna be, like so we don't like run into each other and stuff. I don't know.
What strengths do you have as a receiver? I mean, have your coaches kind of talked to you about that at all?
Not really, but I think it just goes back to like seeing stuff that like most people don't see.
Yeah. Let's move on to Jake Soporowski. You were part of that baseball team too. I'm assuming the bleach blonde hair is not from the state tournament run. This is all natural for you, huh?
I dyed it back. It doesn't look very good. It was bleached.
It's passable. You played all three sports.
Yes, sir.
You played football, played basketball, baseball. I mean, are you always just kind of in a sports-ready mode because of that?
Yeah, I've been growing up playing all three. I'd play four if I was allowed to, but I've been around sports my whole life.
What would the fourth be?
Track.
Oh, yeah? Sprints guy, hurdles, what would you do?
Probably at 400.
400? Not an easy one. I can't run 400 meters. I'm a distance guy. Coach Pond talked a lot about BDP and reestablishing the culture at White House. From your perspective, what does that look like in these past couple of months?
Last couple of months, definitely Coach Pond is more strict. He's not letting like stuff fly. We talk a lot about sudden change. I think it's something that helps us, like at FCA camp. We got down, and he talked about sudden change. So we do something in practice called sudden change, where out of nowhere, we'll go do a challenging like workout, I guess you could say. And that really translates to the field, and it translates to FCA camp.
Just the adversity, I guess, that you get thrown at, you got to make quick on your feet. How does that kind of translate, that in practice sudden change to something that might happen on the football field?
So, say we're struggling to do our sudden change workout, and we're down by 10 points going in, like to start the 7-on-7 game. That kind of like correlates, and that definitely correlated at 7-on-7 at FCA camp.
One of the few names that I have down in my mind here, Trenton McCormick, another returnee for this team. Talk a little bit about this receiver room that you guys have with the new faces, graduating some guys. What's your assessment of these guys so far?
I mean, I think we have a pretty good receiver room. I mean, last year we didn't really, I don't feel like we passed as much as we did with this year, and I feel like we're just kind of like spreading the ball out a lot more.
But what's the difference schematically for a Coach Pond offense? Is it a big difference from what you guys have been doing?
I would say yes. I feel like last year we ran the ball like a lot. I feel like y'all saw that. And then, I mean, yeah, this year I feel like every other play it's a pass play. So, I mean,
now, how much of that though is it being 7-on-7 right now, right? I mean,
what was that?
With it being 7-on-7 season right now, you don't get much of a chance to run the ball.
Yeah.
Do you feel like that's still going to translate to the season?
Yes, I do.
Talk a little bit in the times that I've worked with Coach Pond in the past. I was with him at East Robertson. And of course, I've known him since. He's a high energy guy. Mm-hmm. He's pretty lively, especially on game days. You can answer this. If anybody has something they'd like to chip in here, give me an example of how high energy Coach Pond is. You're not going to get in trouble, I promise. Maybe. I don't know. How high energy Coach Pond is. Do you have an example of that?
I would say the game, like halftime per se, I'll say Pro Cone last year. We were up at halftime. There was nobody more hype in that locker room than Coach Pond. So that shows you how high energy he is.
I'll give you guys an example. Each week, and we do our Sumner County and Robertson County pick'ems. Coach Pond watches those like a hawk. Not too many coaches read what we have to say. Kudos to Coach Pond. He reads it like crazy. And anytime you get in the game, you're covering a game that Coach Pond is, the White House is there at. If you've picked against him, he knows. So that's one way that he is pretty high energy. Thank you to the receivers for coming in. Jaden, new quarterback, yes? Let's bring you up here. Coach Pond corrected me here in saying that you're not a more mobile quarterback.
Yeah.
I think Kenny Holt told me that last year. So
Yeah.
what are you skilled at? What did you show this spring that you're skilled at?
I feel like with Easton gone with baseball, like the receivers, like we've been putting like a lot of work in, and so like Rucker, Graham, Trent, we would always hit the field and stuff. Max, all of us, and like or in the pocket and stuff, like throwing and stuff. I feel like that's like what I'm good at.
Yeah,
I feel like I can make plays.
I mean, you had not a whole lot of returning cast, a couple of new faces in there too. So how did you kind of make the most of the opportunity to create chemistry with these guys?
Since like sophomore, freshman year, junior year, like all the receivers now basically, I've been like getting worked with all the time. So we have a lot of chemistry. I feel like.
How different does this offense look from the quarterback's perspective, even backup quarterback's perspective, from what you're kind of going through and processing now as a starter?
Well, like I get to like play with the ones now, like the line's better. Like I can actually stay in the pocket and throw, and like the receivers are like way better. So like,
well, I mean, maybe they're more open.
More open. Yeah. So like, yeah.
Are those concepts, the passing concepts? I mean, and receivers, you can answer this as well. Are the routes kind of different than what you guys have done previously in passing the ball? How are those trees different than what was previously kind of implemented?
It's way more creative.
I think that last year we was trying to hold the ball too long, but Coach Pond's trying to get the ball out quicker and like get us more of like a quick game kind of situation.
How do you guys feel about the schedule as a whole? Coach Pond and I talked about some big games coming up. October 17th, obviously the biggest of them. I think. I mean, I don't know. Do we think Portland's higher than Liberty Creek right now? Or?
Definitely, definitely.
Portland first. There's that BDP that Coach Pond was talking about. How's that motivation kind of fuel you guys have big games like that against Portland and Liberty Creek later down the road?
For me and Easton, I can definitely say we played in a lot of big games, not just football, baseball. So I think that's going to translate for us. But these big games are all going to get hyped up, and it's really going to see who the superstars are, because big players make big plays in big games.
Anybody else have anything to add before we rotate our senior class around? Any other additions here? Don't be shy. You have a chance to be on live TV. Not the end of the world.
Say something, bro.
All right, guys, thank you so much for joining us. Let's swap out. Coach Pond, who we got next?
Let's bring some other seniors up here. Let's get some linebackers.
Let's get our linebacker.
We got a nose guard.
Just get the rest. That's a good call.
Yeah. We got our kickers back here.
All right.
You didn't touch me.
Not him. He's back here hiding in the back.
Kicker sometimes is. Are you going to punt too?
That's not me. No, it's him.
Okay. So that's part of the equation in filling in what Michael Albin did last year. He was the running back, he was the linebacker, he was the punter. How much work have you put in? You step up a little bit here to the mic. You're blocking him out. Already doing a good job as a lineman. How much work have you put in the punting aspect of things?
So I really just kind of started punting like once I realized that he wasn't going to be back next year. We never really had a backup for him, so I just kind of started like at the end of last season, and I went to a few camps over the summer, and I feel like I've gotten a lot better. It's definitely improved. I think it's gonna be good for this year.
Let me get the linemen in here. Let's swirl a little bit. Got a new look line. Had a couple of big seniors graduate last year. Dawson Carson being one of them. What do you learn from a guy who had some FCS, track record with Sumner County Defensive Player of the Year? how can you kind of take what he showed these last few years and apply it now?
I say his work effort. His work effort was a really big thing. He worked really hard, and it showed.
I'd say his rep mentality, because even if he didn't lose a rep and lost a rep, he would keep it going onto the next play, onto the next rep. He would focus on that next rep and win the next rep each time. And if he loses, he gets back up, wins the next rep, and keeps that mentality going forward.
Let's move it around this way. Anything to add here on Dawson and lessons learned from him?
From Dawson, just like his work ethic, always helping the next guy. Like you said, like talents also helping me getting better as a player. Overall, just like help me just like better as a person and football athlete.
And in what ways have you guys stepped into the roles that are now available? There's some holes to be filled on this offensive line. How have you guys made the most of that opportunity?
I would say as a tackle or a guard, especially on pass protection, I feel like if we get that pass set working and we get our feet moving quickly and chopping our feet and protecting the ball from the pass, I feel like if we complete the little things of those pass protections, I feel like we can do great on that reps.
I think you were jumping at the chance to answer this one.
Yeah, I say we just do our job. Do our job to the full potential we can be. I think we're going to let the guys behind us do their thing. When they do their thing, we ball.
And let me throw it around here full circle. Whenever your receivers, your skill position players talk about getting the ball out faster, how much more responsibility is on the line to make sure that can be done?
It's more responsibility, but we're just going to, just since I hike the ball, just like do our job, really.
What other differences have there been, and this kind of open it up to the table here, differences in the culture that has happened this offseason with Coach Pond? What's been different in regards to that?
I would say like going forward, it's like we work different. It's like we doing different things, but like we working harder every single day. Like no days off. Really just getting there and working. Like having different pieces come like as a team, but everything come together though.
I would say like football team, like as a thing, we actually been like flowing a lot better, like a lot more fun, but really conditioning is a lot better. Like you can feel it like as a whole team.
Yeah.
Everybody feels better. Everybody's working harder. We're gonna be good this year.
Talk to me a little bit about how that conditioning is different and how it's more fun. Is there something that these coaches bring in that make it a more fun atmosphere?
Everything. You can feel it. Just by the way everybody talks, by the way everybody acts. Really, it's a lot more applied to football.
Still asking any White House senior that's around here. We haven't gotten one from you yet. Your parents will be glad you asked a question. You two, come on up. New coordinators across the board. Atlee taking over the offensive side of the ball. Coach Barna, your new defensive coordinator. What differences have there been in regards to that?
I would say it's more like he's like a really intense guy. I mean, it's like more like I would say like simple, and then he's just like I feel like it's gonna be all around better. He's a really good coach, high intensity stuff like that.
What do you got?
So for the differences, he's wanting to pass the ball a lot more, which is good for us because we have a lot of like skilled receivers that can do a great job. And as a running back, I want to see our receivers be able to receive the ball more because last year all we did was hand it off to Alvin and he ran it, which he did a great job. But I would like to see our receivers touch the ball.
Kind of opens the game up a little bit more as a running back if the pass game starts rolling, right?
Yes.
I'd say so. Coach Barna, he came in like obviously we didn't all know him and stuff, but he came in like. He like makes sure that like we understand before he like moves on from something. Like he'll sit there and pause and be like, anybody got any questions? And like normally people will ask that and then just move on instantly. He like sits there and waits and like he just makes sure everybody understands and like I feel like he's really good about like installing stuff and like I just like what he's doing with the defense and all, so I think it'll be good.
Give a lot of love to these White House seniors for stepping up and answering questions here on Sumner County Media Day, brought to you by Volunteer Fence, K1 Speed. Farmers Bank, and Steve Shrum, Simply Home Real Estate. Do we have any other seniors back there? Is this everybody?
That's everybody.
All right. Lyman, let's do something fun to close out here. Get the three-point stance. Let me get you the three-point stance.
You want to go out there and do that?
First impressions here on the White House line. Might be a bad idea to go right in front of the camera. I think we've got some room. Got some room here. We'll step back. We'll step back here. Let's get the White House line in a three-point stance. First look at the White House offensive line here. Good, love it. Let me get Jaden in here too. Where's Jaden? Jaden, show us the snap count, Jaden. I got khakis on. Show us the snap count, Jaden. Oh yeah. I can't do that. Thank you guys, appreciate it. Thank you, White House seniors. Give them a round of applause. We'll take another break here on Sumner County Media Days and talk to a couple of members of White House's staff when we come back.
At the Farmers Bank, nothing means more to us than helping our customers grow. We take pride in supporting our neighbors, creating customized solutions, and building strong communities, one relationship at a time. It's simple. We're just local people making local decisions. We're as community gets. We'd love to be part of your success. Visit any of our non-Middle Tennessee locations or visit us online to get started. The Farmers Bank, improving lives in the markets we serve.
The best indoor go-kart racing experience is here in Nashville, Tennessee. K1 Speed Nashville by Will Power is a world-class entertainment venue that is designed to help keep you entertained and engaged whether you're on or off the track. If you want to experience indoor karting yourself, are interested in hosting a fun party for a friend or loved one, or would like to plan a corporate function, we'll be here to help. K1 Speed Nashville by Will Power is open 7 days a week. Visit k1speed.com/Nashville for more details. K1 Speed Nashville is located at 404 Davidson Street, Nashville, Tennessee. Call 615-242-3275 or visit k1speed.com/Nashville. K1 Speed Nashville, the best and fastest indoor go-kart racing in Nashville.
What do you look for when searching for a realtor? Experience? Steve Shrum with Simply Home has been a realtor in Sumner County for 30 years. Number of houses sold? Steve Shrum with Simply Home has sold over 1,000 homes. Leadership in the field? Steve Shrum with Simply Home, president of the Sumner Realtors in 2004 and 2018. Awards? Steve Shrum with Simply Home 2006-2016 Realtor of the Year for Sumner Realtors. What do the clients say? Steve Shrum with Simply Home is knowledgeable, professional, and kind with a super work ethic. Steve Shrum with Simply Home sells 99% of his homes quickly and for top dollar, and communicates from the beginning to the end of the process. Your homework is now done. Steve Shrum with Simply Home is the realtor for the job. Call Steve Shrum with Simply Home today at 615-473-6633. Visit Steve at steveshrum.com or stop by and say hello at 118 Saundersville Road, Suite 150, Hendersonville, Tennessee, 37075.
Volunteer Fence is your one-stop shop for all your fencing needs. If you need assistance with residential, commercial, gates, and handrails, trust the company with over 45 years of fencing experience, Volunteer Fence, located in Hendersonville, Tennessee. Volunteer Fence services customers in Middle Tennessee, including Hendersonville, Gallatin, Lebanon, White House, Smyrna, Nashville, Springfield, Brentwood, Franklin, Murfreesboro, Mount Juliet, and the surrounding areas. Call Volunteer Fence at 615-822-6530 for a free estimate or visit www.volunteerfencellc.com.
And we're back. Sumner County Media Days brought to you by K1 Speed, Volunteer Fence, the Farmers Bank, and Steve Shrum, Simply Home Realty. Learning lots of faces and names for the White House football team tonight. Join with me now, Coach Bumbalow, Coach Hyman, like the seafood, so I'm told. I'm unfamiliar with that. Mitchell Parker, Coach Parker, defensive coordinator Cliff Barna. This is former softball coach Cindy Towers, and Atlee Pond's monitoring the situation now. Let's start with this, Coach Pond, if you want to get in and talk a little bit. Forgot to mention what you guys have going on Friday, a new uniform release on top of the new faces here.
Yeah, so this Friday we have team pictures. We also have like a senior media day, also jersey reveal. Then we also have, which we're pretty excited about, is a team picnic. It's one of the things that we used to do when I was at White House, and it was one of those things that we talked about earlier about the fellowship piece. So it's a pretty exciting day Friday. We're excited about it.
We'll work our way around here, starting with new defensive coordinator Cliff Barna, who comes by way of Liberty Creek. Coach Pond said you and him kind of hit it off pretty quickly whenever you were in talks of coming to White House.
Yes, sir. Yeah, just questions about culture, vision, that type of stuff. What does he see that are important to him for a football program? And everything he was saying, I was in total agreement with it, and we just hit it off right away.
You were at Liberty Creek for the first 3 years there,
Yes,
also
sir.
the wrestling coach.
Yes, that's correct.
So how did that kind of all connect in, maybe wrestling and football, a lot of parallels there?
Oh, yeah.
And what did you learn from your time at Liberty Creek that you're kind of taking with you here to White House?
Oh, yeah. Biggest thing culture-wise, that I learned from under Coach Alexander, who's there right now. Learned a lot of stuff defensively there as well. And with wrestling, just the leadership piece of that as well is because I believe the most important thing with any program you're talking about, even organization, is that culture and unity is the most important thing. Unity with the coaches, it has to start at the top, and that trickles down to the players as well. If they're not playing as one, we're not going to go very far.
Well, what made you want to make the move from Liberty Creek to White House?
The opportunity, first off, obviously the opportunity to be a defensive coordinator. That is something I've always dreamt of being. That's been a dream job of mine to do, to be able to serve in that capacity, and also to serve in the same city where I live as well, and to be a part of the community and part of such a rich tradition at White House High School. I'm blessed to be there.
How do you align with Atlee, Coach Pond? I mean, in your first talks, what ways did you guys kind of have a lot of commonality?
Well, one thing that stuck out to me was that he wanted to have a staff that were first good men, that were going to be teachers and leaders in the way of character for each other and for the players, and that's most important. And then also when it comes to the mentality of the game and making things hard, that our guys, when it comes to conditioning, it's not just about conditioning them physically, but it's also about conditioning them mentally, which is probably more important, and also shared suffering. And what I mean by that is that when times get tough, that's when you see unity coming together. So things like that, and just our defensive philosophies as well when it comes to disguising things. And I've learned a lot from him just in the small time that I've been here when it comes to a lot of things as well, and just trying new, different things. And I'm wanting to grow, and so I try to learn as much as I can and bring what I have to give as well at the same time. One of the things I want to do with the staff and even with these players too is I told them it's not my way. I want this to be our product, our defense, that we're in it together. It's not my show.
Talking with the defensive staff here, well said, by the way, Coach Barna, on White House's football team. Swirl it around this way. Coach Pond talked a lot about an emphasis of wanting to bring BDP back to White House, and part of that was bringing on or keeping assistants that were tied to the school as players. Coach Bumbelow, you want to start and kind of talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, so it's a big thing with us, just keeping the tradition. And I graduated in 2018 from White House, had some good seasons there, but I think it's great. He even brings in alumni just to come and see the field house, see the players, talk to the kids, just so they understand that tradition of what White House really is and what BDP is. So.
Does it shock you that we're the same age?
Not really.
I'm
No.
2018 as well. I think I didn't expect that. That's a fun little nugget. Coach Hyman, keep us going. Keep us rolling.
Well, I didn't go to White House. I went to Gallatin. But, growing up in Gallatin, still you knew what BDP was because...
Well, and the pride in Gallatin's a big thing, too.
Yeah.
I mean, that Green Wave pride is probably pretty similar to what
Definitely.
BDP embodies.
Yeah. My wife graduated from White House. And I was around it early on when we started dating and stuff, but being friends with the Pond family for so many years and just being a part of it, I was so excited 4 years ago to be able to come on with Pond, and it's just been awesome building from there. So.
Coach Parker, what connections, what ties do you have?
I graduated from here in 2002, played here all 4 years. To be honest, it's more giving back to the community and giving back to the kids that helped make me. I mean, this program made me. So I want to give back, do everything I can to give that back to them as well. So that's huge with me.
Well, let's close it out with Coach Towers. Great to see you, by the way. How involved are you with all of this? Are you just here for fun?
Well, I'll be honest with you, Coach Pond came to me at the very beginning, and he and I sat down, we talked about philosophies and talked about like what he wanted, for this program and for these kids right here. And we're on the same page, and I told him, I said, I'm here to help whatever you need. And so that's basically what I'm here for, is to add, supplement, do whatever I can to help the coaching staff as well as the players, and to bring back strong BDP in our building, as well as at this team and in the community. That's one of the things we want to work on really hard, is BDP.
Coach Towers, obviously an icon in Sumner County softball. The field's named after her now over there at White House. Coach Pond, can you kind of talk about the want-to bring an icon back out of retirement?
We had conversations, like we taught, we both taught PE, and so we always had conversations in the building, and we shared similar philosophies, and what, you get an opportunity to bring somebody like that around the program, why not? You know what I'm saying? And she's helped me drastically. I can go to her with questions about different things, and she's got my back, and I know she does.
What is her official? I mean, either you
we just say operations. That's what
just
we say.
operations.
Yeah, operations. Yeah, she's just there. She's there to help everybody. She does a great job of doing it.
You guys can kind of answer this as a staff a little bit. New players coming on. Some just who have been in the program and are now getting their shot. Others who are back with the program or in a new position. What's it been like, kind of gearing them up to step into an opportunity like this? Not all at once.
We've always got that next man up philosophy, and every year, when kids graduate, some of them expect to jump up, but if it's any man, it's every position's always open every week, and you always want to have the best 11 on the field, and I feel like we can do that. So.
I've really enjoyed getting to build a relationship with all the guys on the team. That's something that's very important to me, is to get that connecting piece and then also pair it with high expectations. When the guys know that you care and love them, they're going to know that that's what those high expectations are for. And so I say that because what I've realized with these group of men is I can use this today as an example. I had a player ask me this question, Coach, what do I need to do to get better? Why am I not in the 1-2 rotation right now? How can I get them better? And I said his name. I was like, that's a really great way of how you just asked that question. I said, I appreciate you and respect that. And I said, now here's the thing. I haven't seen you in pads yet. so I'm going to get to learn a lot once the truth comes out when we get pads on.
That's the caveat.
He's ready to be done with 7-on-7.
Amen.
Defensively, everybody's ready for that.
That's the caveat with kind of all of our Sumner County Media Days to this point, is that you really, a good chunk of things may still be unknown. With kind of not having the chance to put on pads and hit each other yet. But Coach Barna, one thing that the players were talking about in the previous segment was that you're really intentional about making sure that they grasp what a concept is or what you're trying to instill. Where did that come from? Where did that stem from?
Well, as a player myself, whenever I felt like I got on my coach's nerves, because I was always like, okay, coach, why do you want me to step that way? Why do you want my hands? I wanted to know the why behind everything. And so when I coach, I want our guys to understand the why behind it. It's not because I said so. It's because it's going to put you in a better position for us to be successful, you as an individual and us as a team. And so, and not only that, but once they grab that concept and learn it themselves, now their minds are not tripping over their feet, and hopefully they're not thinking too much while they're on the field. They're playing fast and physical.
Guys over here, where's your excitement level with the defensive unit that you've got right now? While you're not in pads, who are some guys that may be excited?
No, you know, every off season you start seeing kids develop more, and the last couple of years, a lot of the kids that have played every year, you know, we've still got some that have some Friday night experience. So, you know, we've had some young kids. We got some young kids that we're very excited about. You know, every year you get freshmen that come up, and you always expect them to develop every year, and they are. So.
And it's not just one individual either.
Yeah.
It's more of as a group, seeing them flow, seeing them work together, having their workflow all together in swarm. That's what we're seeing. We're working on a swarm type of defense to get them all to the ball.
Yeah. Coach Bumble, anything to add there?
Yeah, I'm really excited about the whole group that we have back there, especially with the DBs, because, you know, that's who I work with. But we got a lot coming back in that area, and I think they're just real good as a tight group together. Our safeties, corners, whoever it is, I think they're all good. And I'm excited about the young kids coming up to push them and make them better. So a lot of excitement back there. So.
We are approaching 2.5 hours here at Birdie Bros in Hendersonville. Still 2 hours to go on our Sumner County Media Days. Here in Hendersonville, come check us out. Come see us on Facebook Live. Coach Pond, I think you had some more assistants that you wanted to throw my way. See what else I can handle.
Yeah, we got our media guy over there. That's Roger Pond.
Oh,
yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, he's the guy. So he does our Facebook Live.
Now, what's the relationship?
So that's my first cousin.
Okay.
Our dad's and brother.
Kyle's going to be our guest on the other side of this. Don't spoil it, Coach Paul.
Make sure everybody gets recognized. We got Daniel Rutherford back there. He helps us on the.
Give us a hand, Daniel. Give us a wave.
Wave. There you go.
Coach Gilland, good to see you. We're going to have you on the other side of this break. Coach Towers tried to spoil it. Oh, right here in a minute. Right here in a minute.
Sorry, I didn't mean to spoil your thunder.
You're fine. It happens all the time. Where's Coach Fortner? Coach Fortner?
Yeah, he's here somewhere. I don't know where he lives. He's probably over there hitting golf balls.
Spoken like a true character coach. Let's talk to Roger. Help us out here, Roger.
All right.
We got time to fill.
On BDP Network.
Come here, in the middle here.
Come on.
What's up, man? So what entails being the White House media guy? What all is kind of come with that?
When you tune in to White House Facebook on Friday nights, it's me that you hear along with Dwayne. And, you know, we got to pay the bills. We got to get our sponsors in. You know that gig, like White House Nutrition, shout out. Walt's Garage, appreciate you guys. Johnson's Crossroads. Got to pay the bills around here, you know?
Well, I'll say that BDP network, that live stream is a huge help to us as, you know, a sports staff. A lot of times it's hard to find live video from a game, much less the analysis that you guys bring. How long have you been doing that, Roger?
4 or 5 years, I don't really know. You know, I just feel like it's my job to encourage the kids, promote them, you know, wish their mom happy birthday if they want me to, whatever, you know what I mean? It's all fun zone with me after these guys put them through the meat grinder, so I get to have a lot of fun doing this.
First cousin to Atlee is what he said.
Yeah, but don't be telling everybody.
Do you have a good story?
I do. How much time we got?
We got 6 minutes.
No, we're good. We're good.
I mean, for those that maybe, I know people are familiar with him as an assistant coach, but you saw him, of course, as a head coach at East Robertson. What should fans expect about Atlee taking over this team?
Well, you know, a lot of people say family. A lot of people put it on T-shirts. This is our family. You know, we've been going to White House games since we were old enough to remember. And, you know, a lot of our guys, there's 3 Bumbelow brothers on this staff.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of us played here, Parker, all of them. We adopted Hyman a few years ago. You know, it is family. And, you know, we want the guys here that want to be here, players. You know, this is a family, so we want you.
From a media perspective, how have you seen your first cousin implement that BDP culture that he's really trying to reinstill?
Yeah, at the same time, you know, we used to hang banners up there at the field, and we quit talking about that. Why we don't run from that. The standard here at White House is not the playoffs. That's the bar. Okay, the standard is compete for championships, region championships, and we want to get that back. We pay homage to Coach Porter and all those guys that came before us, but right now, these guys are the program. We owe it to them to hang some more of those banners.
Let me bring back in the defensive staff here. What's the motivation that you guys have coming off of it? Of course, you weren't here last year, but last season missing the playoffs. How much did that motivate, kind of light a fire under you guys going into this season?
Every year every year it motivates you. You know, our practice field, our middle practice field is surrounded by banners.
Yeah.
And every now and then, you know, we get to talk to the kids, especially on Thursday nights or whatever before a game. And my favorite one, and it fires me up every time, you know, you can stare at some of these coaches and they're on those numbers, they're on those dates, you know, those are their years. Why don't you make one here? You know, why not you? You know, why, you know, day one or one day? You know, one day we're going to be up there, day one we're going to work and we're going to put our number up there. You know, I want them to have that feeling as a coach of getting off that bus, you know, on Friday night after we win one of those and we walk up there and we put our number up there. You know, it gives you goosebumps. You want to do it.
Is there
Yeah.
Yeah. And part of White House football is sound defense. I mean, from somebody who watched, you know, this program the past couple of years, not as long as you guys. You know, you've got me aged out by a little bit. But sound defenses has been kind of the bread and butter of this team in the past. How much kind of emphasis or pride do you take on making sure that defense is sound going into this season and for the duration of Coach Pond's tenure?
Yeah, I think he already mentioned it before, but that getting 11 guys to the football every play. Like, it can't just be one guy making the tackle. Everybody's got to gang tackle. Everybody's got to get there. That's just, like, that's our mentality on defense. Everybody getting to the ball, making plays. That's a big thing for us.
You take that from Liberty Creek? Is that kind of, I mean, is that an inspiration on that? Or?
Well, that was one of the things when Coach Pond and I were first talking. I asked him what was his perspective on pursuit drills and getting to the ball, because I'm big on that, huge on that. And he was all about it, and he has such a heavy emphasis on that. I was like, all right, I like Coach Pond. The more we talked, the more I was like, man, alive, we can work together. And also not just with him, but these guys too. I love what Roger, Coach Pond over here, said, is that they adopted Hyman. They did the same thing to me too, and I haven't told them that though, but they welcomed me in a way that I feel like I belong here. That's important, and they've done that for me, and I appreciate that too, guys. Yep.
One more for you guys. We'll go round table here. You know, it's unfair July 14th to ask for expectations, but either on that defensive side of the ball, Coach Pond, you can answer this too. Where do you see this team at the end of November? You know, going into the playoffs.
I want an excuse to miss Thanksgiving dinner this year.
Hey, that's it. That's the goal.
That'll get you fired up.
You know, I'm a Thanksgiving guy. I was built for it. But every season, you know, I want that excuse. Hey, honey, you know, sorry, I can't make turkey this year. We got practice. You know, that's what high school football is about to me.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. Amen to that.
It's going to be tough to top that. So I think we'll put a bow on it. Thank you to White House's defensive staff for joining us. We're continuing our Sumner County Media Days with Coach Kyle Gilland and newly named White House principal on the other side of this break. We will be right back closing out White House's segment. We're watching Sumner County Media Days, brought to you by Main Street Media Television.
The best indoor go-kart racing experience is here in Nashville, Tennessee. K1 Speed Nashville by Will Power is a world-class entertainment venue that is designed to help keep you entertained and engaged whether you're on or off the track. If you want to experience indoor karting yourself, are interested in hosting a fun party for a friend or loved one, or would like to plan a corporate function, we'll be here to help. K1 Speed Nashville by Will Power is open 7 days a week. Visit k1speed.com/Nashville for more details. K1 Speed Nashville is located at 404 Davidson Street, Nashville, Tennessee. Call 615-242-3275 or visit k1speed.com/Nashville. K1 Speed Nashville, the best and fastest indoor go-kart racing in Nashville.
What do you look for when searching for a realtor? Experience? Steve Schrum with Simply Home has been a realtor in Sumner County for 30 years. Number of houses sold? Steve Schrum with Simply Home has sold over 1,000 homes. Leadership in the field? Steve Schrum with Simply Home, president of the Sumner Realtors in 2004 and 2018. Awards? Steve Schrum with Simply Home 2006-2016 Realtor of the Year for Sumner Realtors. What do the clients say? Steve Schrum with Simply Home is knowledgeable, professional, and kind with a super work ethic. Steve Schrum with Simply Home sells 99% of his homes quickly and for top dollar. and communicates from the beginning to the end of the process. Your homework is now done. Steve Shrum with Simply Home is the realtor for the job. Call Steve Shrum with Simply Home today at 615-473-6633. Visit Steve at steveshrum.com or stop by and say hello at 118 Saundersville Road, Suite 150, Hendersonville, Tennessee, 37075.
Volunteer Fence is your one-stop shop for all your fencing needs. If you need assistance with residential, commercial, gates, and handrails, trust the company with over 45 years of fencing experience, Volunteer Fence. Located in Hendersonville, Tennessee, Volunteer Fence services customers in Middle Tennessee, including Hendersonville, Gallatin, Lebanon, White House, Smyrna, Nashville, Springfield, Brentwood, Franklin, Murfreesboro, Mount Juliet, and the surrounding areas. Call Volunteer Fence at 615-822-6530 for a free estimate or visit www.volunteerfencellc.com.
At the Farmers Bank, nothing means more to us than helping our customers grow. We take pride in supporting our neighbors, creating customized solutions, and building strong communities, one relationship at a time. It's simple. We're just local people making local decisions. We're as community gets. We'd love to be part of your success. Visit any of our non-Middle Tennessee locations or visit us online to get started. The Farmers Bank, improving lives in the markets we serve.
Now we're back on Sumner County Media Days, brought to you by K1 Speed, Farmers Bank, Volunteer Fence, and Steve Shrum, Simply Home Real Estate. Sumner County Sports Editor Blaine, Kellar here, closing out White House's portion of our Sumner County Media Days, talking athletics as a whole with the newly appointed principal Kyle Gilland. Kyle, congrats on the new role, first off.
Thank you, Blaine. Appreciate it very much, man. It's been a fun ride being at White House for the last 5 years as an assistant principal, athletic director last year, working with our incredible coaches. So, moving into this role now that Ms. Miller's moved to the central office of Sumner County Schools, it's been a blessing. It feels like a calling to be there, and can't wait to get started for this year.
And Coach Pond and the players and even the assistant coaches throughout this whole time talked about bringing BDP back to the football program. That kind of reverberates throughout the whole school.
Oh, absolutely.
Right?
Yeah, absolutely. And you probably know, Blaine, you've been in this business long enough to know that BDP is something that we don't say, that we try to live out every day. Having pride in yourself and how you conduct yourself, living up to expectations, whether that's in a win or a loss. Blue Devil pride is important because it comes out of giving your best, doing the best that you can do and the people around you for them and for yourself, but also for your team and for your school. And so that's born out of the effort and the expectation that we give, not because we're just successful, but we want to be successful too.
And Miller, of course, former principal, went to take a job with the Sumner County board of, the school board there, kind of in their central office.
Yeah.
How did that process unfold of you taking over the principal job?
Gotcha. So, I interviewed with Dr. Langford and the entire cabinet at Sumner County Schools, just like all the other candidates, was, thrilled and blessed, really humbled to be able to stay in the place where I became an administrator and to get to continue on that work. As you know, Dr. Miller was at White House for 20 plus years, and Dr. Langford, the previous principal before her, an alumni, his dad was principal there, and he's now at the central office. We have a long line of succession of great leaders in White House. Not just in White House High School, but in White House Middle, White House Intermediate, all of our 3 elementary schools, H.B. Williams and Millersville and Oakmont. And so we feel like we breed leaders and pull leaders up and get them to where they need to be. So it's just exciting to be in the next in that line. Really, really humbling.
You feel like this was the next step for you? This was something you wanted? You wanted to be, the principal of maybe, any school. Was that kind of the dream for you?
Not necessarily. I love my time. From starting in 2020 at White House High School as an assistant principal, I was excited to get there. I had an admin license for years and years and almost let it expire because I didn't really want to go anywhere else from teaching at Station Camp. I didn't want to teach anywhere else. But when that job opened at White House, having living there for 15 years and getting a chance to be a part of that community, understanding what BDP is growing up, knowing friends that taught there and then telling me what it was like there. When that job opened at White House High School, that's really the only place that I saw myself being. So, answering the call to, when the principal position opened, I would just, put my name in the hat like other people and, trusted the process that God would put me where he wanted me to be. I prayed over and over and over about it, and thankfully I'm going to get a chance to get the opportunity. So real thankful to the Sumner County Board of Education and for Dr. Lane for giving me that opportunity.
You've had a proven track record as athletic director, a short stint in that role, but you made a couple of key hires with Coach Pond and then Coach Lowry here most recently over the basketball program. Run us through both of those cycles and what led to you making the decision for those head coaching positions.
Yeah, well, we're thrilled at all the work that Coach Hamilton did as our head football coach for as long as he was, taking over for Coach Porter, and as our athletic director. The absolute dogged work and motivation that he put into everything he did you will feel those reverberations at White House High School for years to come. Thankfully we were able to get Atlee on a couple of years ago as defensive coordinator. So, when we went through that search, and Blaine, I don't have to hesitate to tell you, man, we went nationwide. We brought in multiple people from California came to school to visit and to interview that, multiple people from Texas, state championship winners from all over. There was a tremendous amount of interest in that job. And, after going through 50-something resumes and all the interviews that we did, no one exemplified not just BDP because he grew up in it and he was a part of it, sure, but a dedication to the kids and for having the work ethic, the excitement, and the real loyalty to the school and the community that Coach Pond did. We couldn't have been more thrilled to be able to say to him, like, we've got this position, are you interested in applying? And for him to say yes was a thrill to us. So going through the process, long, hard, took a long time, but we absolutely got the right guy. We couldn't be more excited about it.
Why do you think that position was so attractive?
I think people understand and people know that there's been a tradition of excellence there, and there's a commitment to winning. There's a commitment to doing what's best for kids and to winning games on the field. And not everybody does that. I don't think everybody wants to make the best athletic choices for all of our students by sharing athletes when we need to. I don't think everybody wants to put kids' academics first over athletics at times. And sometimes we have to have hard conversations to make sure kids are getting what they need, not just to be successful and get their diploma, but to move on to that next level. We want to prepare kids for 6-7 years down the road, not just when they graduate. And so in having those conversations with football coaches that came through, they really couldn't believe the dedication and the years of success that we had, and also that we offer as many AP classes as anybody in our district, right? I mean, I think only Hendersonville has as many AP classes as we do, and sometimes we have more than they do. So in a school of 800, we're eclipsing all these other schools with our academic offerings while still producing, a baseball team that's gone to state the last 2 years, right? While still producing a track athlete who went to state, while still producing, state championship winners in soccer, 5 or 6 years ago. It's fun and it's interesting to try to be, and it's a little cliche, but to try to be an everything school where kids can come in and be successful in a lot of stuff.
And talk about the trend maybe that White House is going or maybe about to go on. Baseball team made back-to-back state tournaments like you mentioned. The track team has had a pretty good run of having athletes make it to that state meet. And maybe Coach Pond will take the football team to another level. And there's new blood in the basketball program.
Absolutely.
As the athletic director, what kind of excitement do you have for all of these sports right now?
What I'm most excited about is we've got a lot of young coaches who are really, really hungry. And they understand our expectations, which is your kids are going to go to class. Your kids are going to follow the rules. They're going to meet those expectations academically, and then we're going to challenge them on the field. We don't want to go out and have a nice practice where everybody just gets along and just goes home. Right? We want to get better each practice, and we've got coaches who want to get better too. We have a strong coaching culture in our building where we coach each other, and we feel like we've got the experts in the building to help our young teachers, young coaches, and even our veteran teachers and coaches get better every day. Blaine, we ask kids to get better every day, right? Every single day we ask them to go into a class, do something they've never done before, learn something they've never learned before, be assessed in a way they've never been assessed before, right? Have a conversation in Spanish, work this geometric equation right here, right? Tell me something about the Civil War where you didn't already know. So we're asking them to get better every day. So we feel as though we as educators at White House High School should be willing to get better every day. So we coach one another. Iron sharpens iron. We try to be tough with one another and have difficult conversations around what can you do to get better? What do you need to get better? But that also opens the door for the coaches to say, I need this to get better, right? Sure. I need this facility, right? I need this equipment. I need this amount of money. And we're willing to have those conversations all the time if it's what's best for kids. So we're trying regularly to coach people into getting better because we're coaching kids to get better, and we're also willing to take on hard things. I said when I got to White House in 2020, and it came up even in my principal interview job, why do you love this community? They have exceptionally high expectations. White House has high expectations as a community, and we hear about it all the time, right? If we have a great night on Friday night, we will hear about it from the fans, we'll hear about it on social media, we'll hear about it in phone calls and emails, the coaches will hear about it, players will hear about it in the community, right? Like, you'll hear about it. If we have a tear in our American flag in front of the school, we're going to get a phone call that day because our community expects us to do a good job. And I love that. Pond loves that. Lowry loves that. Like, our coaches love that. Coach Timlin, our baseball coach, loves that. One of his favorite phrases is, nobody cares, get better. Like, it doesn't matter if you've made a mistake, get better the next day. It doesn't matter if you just won, get better the next day. We have high expectations in our community, and we love to try to fulfill those. And we like to be held accountable. Let us know when we're messing up. We want to get better. Cheer on our kids when they do a great job. They have high expectations too. So that's really, really exciting to us to work in a place and to live in an area where people think we should be good and that we try to measure up to that. How awful would it be if people were like, well, y'all can't do anything good. Your kids can't graduate. Your kids can't go to Harvard. You don't have any Rhodes Scholars. Your kids can't win a state championship. Like, we want to live where everybody expects us to be great in everything.
Yeah.
Right? That's hard.
Sure.
It's hard to live up to. But how much fun is it when you succeed?
Good goal to have.
Absolutely. Like, we want to be great at everything. So that's what that was a key factor, like you said earlier, in those hires of like, Pond wants that. Like, he wants the high expectation. He wants to be better than everybody else. Lowry wants that. He wants the high expectation. Hey, we want to be the best team in the state. It's going to take a while to get there, but we have the people on board who are willing to work hard, who care, who have Blue Devil pride in everything that they do, and expect those hard expectations.
Drew Lowry, the new basketball coach at White House, as you mentioned, replacing Caleb Cook, who was there for a couple of years. Curious how that search maybe differed from Coach Pond and the football search. Was that a similar process that you guys went through, or was it more fast-moving?
It was a little faster moving, and I don't know exactly why, other than it seemed like Drew stuck out really, really quickly, right? With football, where it was at an odd time where not a lot of people leave in a football season, right?
In March.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly, when you're getting ready for spring practice. We were inundated with people we never saw occur. Like, we had more, and we thought we'd have a lot of interest because it's a football position in Sumner County. It's great, Middle Tennessee, great place to live, right? So we knew we'd have several. I didn't know we were going to be looking through 50, 60 emails of resumes and try to figure all that kind of stuff out. With basketball, we weren't far off basketball season, right? It wasn't too much further off basketball season. A very dead time for basketball to get ready. And so we feel like we were able to go a little bit quicker because there was less stuff going on. Football was finished up. We're really just trying to get done with graduation. We didn't have a lot of turnover in our teaching positions either, so there wasn't a lot to have to spend other time on, so we were able to go pretty fast right there, which is great.
What excites you about Drew?
Being an alumni, he understands the high expectations, number one, right? Being a multi-sport athlete was very important to us too. Not just because he did that when he was at White House High School as an alumni, but also he understands being in a winter sport, you got guys pulling in every direction, right? Yeah. Oftentimes, not always, but oftentimes some of your basketball players are your best athletes in the school, right? They can run faster, jump higher than a lot of other people. So oftentimes they get pulled to play a fall sport, pulled to play a spring sport, but they're going to play football and track or something like that. And so we wanted someone who understood in not a small school, in a medium school, your athletes get pulled a little bit more than some other places where they can just specialize in one. And Drew understood that because he had done that before. And it was really cool to hear him talk about, I want my kids to be White House kids. They want to be BDP first. I want them to understand what it's like to come in here and be good at a lot of different things. Obviously, he's going to put basketball first as the basketball coach. So he's going to understand that he's going to have the kids prepared, ready to go. But it was really cool to hear him talk about his pride in the school and that he was able to play multiple sports and was also willing to work with our coaches as well and understand that that's kind of what you have to do at White House if you want to be successful. You want to attract kids from lots of sports.
One more quick one for you, Kyle, before we get out of here on the White House Sumner County Media Days. Wanted to cling on to something you said a few questions ago about facility upgrades. Can you kind of fill us in on what might be on the horizon there, if any projects are kind of in the works for the facilities at White House?
Gotcha. So we had a little bit of flood damage earlier this school year that affected our turf in our field house. And so right now that's in the process of getting new turf made and be able to be put in that area. So that's going to look great. It's going to be sharp. All that stuff's going to be great. As far as what we will see, on campus, off campus, that kind of stuff, that's to be determined. It's been talked about in Sumner County Board of Education meetings and in county commission meetings, right? Funds being put aside for us to get a football field on campus, a stadium on campus. We're both super excited about that. And also, we think back to the tradition of playing where we play in Dewey Whitson Stadium, right in the middle of the White House, in the city park. And that's really special to a lot of people, and it's special to us too. So whatever we do going forward, obviously we're going to leave that up to the county commission and the Board of Education because they make those determinations. But whatever we do going forward, I can assure you that we will have tradition that will continue to play out there, right? I will say we started an alumni, I didn't do it, great people, started an alumni foundation for White House High School within the last couple of years. And, they celebrate a 100-year anniversary of the city of White House just a year ago. And we cut out our entire old basketball floor. Have you been in the school and seen
the new floor?
Yeah, so the old floor is in the cafeteria. The WH is still there. Looks incredible in the cafeteria. The new floor is in. Looks great. We're in the process right now of renovating what we think will be the annex gym. We got a lot of stuff planned right there, but we're working with maintenance to figure out what that's going to look like. But I guarantee you there will be tradition. There will be that script WH in whatever we do.
The takeaway from White House's Sumner County Media Days, tradition still a big part of what the Blue Devils are doing. Thank you to Kyle Gilland. Thank you to the White House football staff and players. This concludes our White House section of Sumner County Media Days. Stay tuned. We'll come back, talk a little Liberty Creek. But thank you to White House coaches, staff, and players. Thank you for joining us on Mainstream Media Television.